Hey friends, welcome back and hello to you new people too. I'm Courtney and today I'm going to be doing a get ready with me to go to the DMV to get a new driver's license photo. Since I moved, I need to update my driver's license and I thought I might as well show you what I'm going to put together for my look. I'm going to use Urban Decay's primer potion because when I'm doing something like this, I want to stick to stuff that I know is going to work for me. So this is the original Urban Decay primer potion. And if you're new to my channel, then let me tell you, I have very oily hooded lids, so I have to use primer. Primer is a must. If I don't use primer, my eyeshadow is gone in 20 minutes. It creases and fades just like it was never there. Now that my primer's on, I'm gonna set it with my Milani Prep Set Go setting powder and this big fluffy brush. This is a Delium Tools 787 brush. And I just swirl my brush into the setting powder and then swirl it on my eyes. I do this because it helps my eyeshadow to last all day and it makes it easier to blend. This is basically like a base eyeshadow shade, though it's transparent. I am gonna fill in my brows a tiny little bit. I'm using Glossier's Boy Brow. And I'll probably go back with my ColourPop pencil just to add a tiny bit more definition and shape. Oh, and I should let you know, I prepped my skin with moisturizer and I used my Emme Diane Illuminating Sunscreen. I love this stuff because basically it gives like a subtle, like champagne beige luminescence. And since I'm having a mostly good skin day, like I would probably go without foundation except for the fact that I'm actually going to get my picture taken and I'm way too nervous about not having makeup on for that, something like that. I am going to use my ColourPop pencil just to shape my brows a tiny little bit. So for something like a driver's license photo, what I want to do is enhance my eye color. So I'm going to use the Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basics palette, and I'm going to take the shade Magnet, which is the gray shade, and kind of basically apply that in the smoky dome shape. So I'm going to put it on my lid, my lower lid, and into my crease. And I'm using the Sigma E25 brush at the moment. Bringing the color up onto the hood of my eye. If you're unfamiliar with what the hood of the eye is, since I have hooded eyes, you can't really see my crease because it's hidden by this fold of skin. So I bring the color up here onto what is the hood. This is the hood. So that when my eye is open, it kind of creates the illusion of a crease. And my eyes are extremely hooded, so basically there's just like no natural crease that you'll see if I don't do this. I feel like I have to bring the color up quite high to even make it visible. And yeah, see, it's not even visible yet when I'm looking straight into the camera. But I have to bring it up gradually or I look like a clown. And the Sigma E25 is pretty much like a workhorse brush. Basically, I like to use it to apply the smoky dome shape and then blend it out. I do typically still go in with a smaller brush. This is the Smashbox brush to get my inner corner the way I like it. Just because my eyes are kind of small, my lids are small. So this Sigma E25 is a little bit big to go right in the inner corner. If you have trouble blending out your smoky dome shape or whatever you're doing, switch to a clean brush and then try and work it out. This is the Real Techniques multitasking brush, and I'm just using it to continue to blend. I'm gonna grab another Urban Decay color just to create a transitional shade with what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm gonna use Urban Decay Tease, which is this color right here in the corner, and a Sigma E36 brush, which is a tiny blending brush. Basically just using this as a transition shade to make the color blend more easily into my skin. It'll just make the look more finished. And then I gotta do the same thing on the other side. So off camera, I tightlined my eyes with the Wunder2 Black Essential pencil, basically on my upper and lower waterline. And then I put on Smashbox mascara primer and 2 coats of Urban Decay's Perversion mascara. Now for the rest of my face. So I'm gonna put on Milk's Blur Stick. And I'm basically putting it all over the center of my face and then blending it out with my fingers. Oh, and I put on Aromalee's lip balm. My favorite is their chocolate orange flavor. Apparently they're gonna discontinue these, so if you like a good cruelty-free indie lip balm, you should stock up. I think I bought like 5 more just because I don't wanna run out for a while. I really hate that she's discontinuing them. I'm gonna use Milk's Supernova stick like right here to highlight on the face, but this is going underneath my foundation. Just to give me some extra glow. I'm testing out the Body Shop's concealer. This is the shade 10. It's like a soft matte concealer because I've still got this zit right here from my rosacea flare up. And I'm kind of putting a little bit of concealer under my eyes. This claims to be a full coverage concealer, but that was a lie. I don't think it's full coverage. I do think that it blends out ridiculously easily, and it does give me like a nice amount of coverage, but I would not call this full coverage. I'm going to mix my Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer, which is in this beat up looking tube, with my Eden Minerals Nordic Veil Foundation in the shade Urine. And I'm trying to do like only half a pump, which is kind of hard to get out. So that's as much as I'm doing. You can see the back of my hand. Maybe you can't. There you go. So I'm basically just mixing these two together. And I'm gonna put it on pretty much, I guess, the center part of my face where I need the most coverage, and then I'm gonna blend it out, like out towards the perimeter of my face. And this is still my all-time favorite foundation combo. Mostly because I don't have to add white to it to make it match my skin tone. I just shear it out so that it's light medium coverage instead of medium full coverage, because I personally don't feel like I want to wear a full coverage foundation. I don't think I need it. Maybe on the days my rosacea is flaring really badly I need it, but in general I don't feel like I need it. And I'm not really sure, like, I don't know, just to me, I don't think it looks good on me to wear full coverage. Now the sides of my my nose are almost always gonna look a little cakey because I have seborrheic dermatitis in addition to my rosacea. And that part of my face, it's just really hard to get it to clear up even with the medication that I have. Because it'll be fine for a while and then it goes back to being just kind of cakey there. And I'm just decided I can't stress over it. I don't have perfect skin and that's okay because, you know, that's life. So my next step is to take my Laura Geller Balance and Brighten powder, which I've almost finished this thing. I've been working so hard to get it down because there's like all of this pan peeking through on this side, but there's still some left here. I'm using this to set under the eyes and the nose. And my chin. And my forehead. Basically the places that I feel like end up sometimes showing wear. And then my cheeks, just so that my blush will blend a little better. I had some of you ask me to do a no makeup look, so I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna do that because I don't think I'm any good at no makeup. But that'll be at least, I guess, a challenge and fun and entertaining. I'm gonna use my Kat Von D LIGHT42 powder right here to, with a small brush so that I can basically just softly blend up here. And I made sure to tap off my brush first because I don't want any of the powder to drop down to my lashes since I've already done my lashes, and I should have done this before I did my lashes. Just want to make sure that's looking smooth. All right, I'm actually going to start with Physicians Formula Plum Rose Blush, and I'm going to apply this as a contour. I love how this stuff smells. It smells very tropical. This is a blush color though that really only works, I think, if you're very fair complected because it's got very light pigmentation, and I know a lot of people do not like it, but it's something I love because, hey, it works on my skin tone. Oh, speaking of skin tone, I was looking and I saw that the Beauty Bakery foundation that I want doesn't come in a shade that's anywhere near my skin tone. So I'm gonna try emailing the company and say, hey, would you consider making a shade that's more similar to my skin tone? Because they had like a chart up of the colors they were gonna offer, and I was like, oh, there's not even one remotely close to mine. I'm gonna put on my Wet n Wild, the Princess Daiquiris blush. This has become my favorite blush to wear. And this is my favorite blush brush. It's by Smashbox. It's part of their, oh man, I want to say it's the mermaid set, but I think it's called their fantasy set. So it's not really a mermaid set, but I call it mermaid. I'm actually gonna mix a third blush in. I'm gonna use Urban Decay's Obsessed just because I want to cool this off just a little bit, and then I'm gonna go back over and blend. This is more blush than I ever normally use. There we go. And this is another Smashbox brush. I think it's from the Gold Digger set. I can't remember, something like that. But it's the big powder brush, and I'm just using this to blend my blush. And if I don't like how it looks in a minute, I'm gonna tone it down with my Beauty Blender. Yeah, there we go. Because I don't usually use quite so much blush. I'm just basically bouncing the Beauty Blender on top of my blush and the little draping, contouring shade, whatever, to kind of like make it look like it's a more lit from within blush shade. Not bad, not bad. I'm going to highlight with Wet n Wild's White Raven. Well, I feel like my cheeks are popping. That's fabulous. Gonna highlight around the eyes. You know, I always like to use the same highlighter on my eyes that I used on my cheeks. And I always use the same brush. This is the Kat Von D Shade and Light brush. Use the pointy end under my brows. Flip it over, use the big fat end to blend it out, and then use the fat end at the inner corner. This is Urban Decay's Rush Pencil. I'm gonna use Too Faced Melted Clover for my lip color because it's a nice cool tone shade. I feel like I look just a touch powdery, so I'm gonna use Pixie's Makeup Fixing Mist. All right, today was hair wash day, so my hair is nice and clean. I'm gonna use a little bit of Eva NYC Hair Gravity stuff. Sorry, it's called Zero Gravity Volume Powder. Basically what I do is I'll put it on my hand like this, and then I'll go under here and just kind of rub it around to try and give my hair some volume. I'm really tired of my hair being so dark. I want it to be nice and bright with just dark roots. I'm probably gonna have to do it myself. Use a little bit of IVK's texture spray. And I'm going to finish with a little bit of Paul Mitchell's Hold Me Tight. All right, so this completes my get ready with me to go to the DMV. So now I'm gonna go and get my driver's license updated. If you haven't already, be sure to click on that little subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in my next video.